Yes, you need to get ready because the next move looks like it's going to be a big one. Having a look at this chart over here, you can see that this is Ethereum on a 3-day chart, and it is caught in a very, very tight triangle over here. And I would expect that this is going to have a massive move, whichever way that it does eventually break out. So we have a lot of things to look at today. But just as I suspected, the whole Ethereum thing turned out to be a sell the news event. I knew it couldn't really go any other way. This is often how it is. It's all a game of liquidity in crypto and markets in general, where, of course, you create a certain level of hype around a particular narrative and people buy into that, and then big players come in and grab the liquidity and sell out of that. So is there any hope though for recovery? That's the question. Let's start on high time frame. I did mention to you yesterday, by the way, apologize for all of the mic issues yesterday. I hope that we've resolved it. Let us know in the comments if there is any issues today. I have the all faithful danglies over here, which I'll put on straight away if there is some problem. But okay, Ethereum, I said to you yesterday, I warned you, I said, have a look over here. If you see the weekly low taken out, that would be a pretty bad sign, because now we failed to get above the previous week's high on Ethereum, and we came all the way down. Look at that massive red candle. It's now become a bearish engulfing candle, fully engulfed the previous one, taken out the weekly low. And now I guess we need to see how today goes in the stock market. Stock market is just driving everything, actually. And depending on what that does, we'll know our next move for Ethereum. But so far, again, everything on crypto, it looks like the risk continues to remain to the downside. Short-term plays, of course, there are little bullish moves. And I would say, yeah, our target was hit. I was targeting on Ethereum around 1400 when we were all the way at the top over here near 1800. I said, I think 1400 would be the pullback level. And then we take it from there. So we've hit that target. For those of you that were on the right side of the trade, congratulations. Bitcoin doesn't look as bad. Same thing, you know, as mentioned yesterday, Bitcoin seems to move with less amplitude than Ethereum. So when Ethereum moves up, it went up much higher. For example, in relation to the 21 EMA over here, Ethereum made it all the way up to its 21 EMA in around about August, and then it did it again now. And Bitcoin, much slower mover, but still, you know, doesn't look good. When you look at this picture over here, I want to quickly put those EMAs back on, or the MAs. Just give me a second. There we go. So now what do you have over here? Look, guys, this is now Bitcoin's come back below again the 255 MA. How long has it been below this 200 MA? These are all bad signs, which will eventually lead into a capitulation. There's just no two ways around it. Looking at the stock market, I did mention to you yesterday as well that this white line over here, the 290.87 is your line in the sand. Critical level to be watching. As soon as you take out that level, I would expect continuation to the downside into the support box. So that's kind of where I stand at the moment. On NASDAQ, you'd be looking at another 4.6% move, give or take, call it 4 to 5% move, before expecting some sort of a bounce from this area. But I think that would just be a short-term bounce and then probably continuation lower. And I do expect that next week's FOMC is going to be the ultimate driver of all of these market moves. Looking at the DXY, what is the DXY doing? We haven't pulled this up for quite some time. Didn't even make it to the trend line over here. Seems to be turning around again. Quite bullish because it's holding above this key horizontal at 108.6. Let's go into a higher time frame, like a weekly, and see what that shows. So here you go. DXY, strong green candle. Let's see how this week closes, but I do expect some sort of, you know, consolidation within this region. But long term, the DXY still super bullish. Ultimate top target would be that key monthly level coming way higher. What about the S&P 500 futures? Not looking good. Haven't pulled this up until right now. That's bad. It's closed below already this primary support zone over here, and if it starts to lose this, it can very quickly flip that into resistance. So that is a bad sign. Diagonals we don't put as much weight on, but also lost the diagonal over there, so that is bad. VIX, I'm sure this is picking up steam over here to the upside. looks, kind of consolidating around the 26 level. Would expect continuation to the upside. So that's the traditional markets. One more thing. Let's take a look at the bonds, the yield curves over here. Look, this was a primary zone. I'll probably go into a weekly chart, show you that. This is a primary zone on the 30-year. It's pushing into that, closing candles within that box event. The longer that it sits around here, it will have an expansive move and a strong upward momentum push through this box if it keeps spending time in this region. 10-year yield, very strong. Look at that, guys. Big, strong candle. What previously was called as a top over here, what everybody was labeling as a top for the bonds, has now been, that's invalidated. You can say that this is going to be continuation to the upside. So 2-year looking strong as well. These all have much higher targets in my opinion. Okay, look at this, guys. I found this tweet today. Unbelievable. Argentina Central Bank are raising key rates by 550 points. That is enormous. That is pretty damn scary. But we do know Argentina have had their issues. So we'll see if there's any sort of relatable print for the US markets next week. Okay, this chart over here, look, this is the best fit line over here, despite this being breached as a trend line over here, despite this area being breached. I still think that this is the best fit line, and then you kind of have a series of higher lows. And you guys do know that anytime, this is a 3-day chart for Ethereum, anytime that price gets stuck within a tight consolidative environment like this, eventually when it does break either out to the up or the downside, the move is going to be big. If it goes to the downside, I would literally expect at least at the very, very minimum, a sweep of these Ethereum lows, which is coming in at around that $1,000 mark, possibly even lower. For those who are watching this, if you're playing it to the upside, I would expect an upside move to at least test this area, which is coming around, let's make it a bit cleaner for you. So around $2,400 to $2,500 level. So that's kind of the level to watch on the 3-day chart. And then we'll put this in over here. Minimum would be a sweep of these lows, probably even lower than that though. So that's what I'm watching for Ethereum. Looking at Bitcoin, what does Bitcoin's chart look like? So when you look at Bitcoin over here, that was an absolute perfect rejection off of that diagonal trend line going to the downside, which is measured from ever since the all-time highs. It's governed price all the way down. The difference is that, again, I mentioned the difference between how Ethereum and Bitcoin moves. It didn't go down as far as what Ethereum did, so you don't have that same sort of higher low series that's been formed over here, but you do have this horizontal and what I labeled final support. And the more that this level gets tested, the closer we become to breaking it. Eventually, it is going to break. So unless bulls kick in very, very soon and push price through here, and the only way that would happen is if the whole FOMC event goes extremely well. Otherwise, there's probably not much chance over there for the bulls. This is probably going to break the horizontal to the downside. Okay, going on to the Super Guppy indicator. Same thing as what was mentioned yesterday. Stuck below, it's bad. I don't want to harp on this one too much. It looks like a big bull trap. Bull trap looks confirmed. Next line that I'm watching on Ethereum is going to be $1,425, which is your 28th of August and the 29th of August price action. So where price closed on the 28th and where it opened on the 29th, draw a horizontal line across there. If that level gets lost at 1425, then the move to the downside is going to happen very, very quickly, which would essentially be this one that I showed you over here. Then you can expect that it's going to be that breakdown on Ethereum to the downside. So daily over here on Bitcoin, using the different EMAs that we've been using for quite some time, the 9 and 34 EMA, price stuck below, bad, not good. Let's quickly check out with our different EMAs over here. There you go, the 12 and 24 should be looking the same. Also, price stuck below, both angled down. Any retests into these EMAs are shorting opportunities. Remember, you need to understand what strategy you're working with. And the only way you can do that is to backtest and go and have a look at how they worked historically. So any time that price action pushes into those EMAs, you can start to build a short position. And now you have a nice invalidation level as well, because you're coming into this key horizontal at 20,800. So that would be your invalidation on a short. So I'm going to give you just a quick freebie over here of what it would look like. Assuming, I don't even know if price is going to make it, if it's going to even bounce as high. But if it did, you'd be looking at something like that. That would be your shorting opportunity. But you need to be targeting ultimately to the lows if you are going to run a short like this. Otherwise, the risk to reward is not going to be good enough. So moving on to, quickly, a shout out to our sponsors, OKX and PrimeXBT. Check them out over here. The link is in the description below. I will be doing a tutorial video quite soon for PrimeXBT, because their platform works a little bit differently to what you may be used to. You can also trade Forex on there, which is awesome. You can trade different types of stocks and things. Gold, I think they have on there as well. So check them out. If you do decide to support me and join them, make sure that you use the promo code Kyle Doops. That's very important. Otherwise, you won't be eligible for that up to $7,000 sign up bonus. Okay, low time frames. What's going on the 4-hour chart? So you know this wedge over here. I put this in yesterday's daily candle newsletter, and I did say that, look, if the bears take out this level, which is coming in at 1,000, so it's what I just gave you, that number, $1,423. As soon as that low gets breached, expect accelerative move to the downside. You're already losing your advantage as a bull, because this trend line has been breached and broken, and now you're kind of giving the benefit of the doubt to a range trading environment where price is stuck within that yellow range, hoping that it's going to bounce off of this range low. But if it loses that, then I think it's going to, then you're going to have a bigger range, right? If you lose that level, then your range is going to look something like this. And then your next hopeful bounce as a bull is on the bottom level over here, which is coming in at $1,012. So you lose this, it's going to look something like this on Ethereum. Let's grab the pen. You lose that level, I'd expect quick move straight to the downside. And then this is where you can bid again with an invalidation under the lows, hoping that price is going to push back up. But I think that move will have a lot of momentum behind it. So I wouldn't really expect that it's going to hold very long. I would expect some sort of a small bounce, but I think that bounce will ultimately get sold into. What about Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart? So Bitcoin, similar to what I just showed you on Ethereum, it just doesn't have the pretty yellow lines, but you have your range high, mid-range, and the bottom of the range over here. Ultimately, right now, you're targeting back down to the bottom of the range. If you are looking to go long, your stop would be underneath this previous higher low over here. So this box is coming in between $18,613 and about $18,900. That's your zone, your primary zone, where I expect price to gravitate towards like a magnet over the course of the next few days. This chart over here is our 1-hour chart. This line that I have, let's make it big so you can see it nicely. This is what I said bulls would need to do yesterday if they wanted any sort of hope. They needed to push price up here for a big bounce, and then you could catch a bid around the 21.8 level. So you need to reclaim that level. Pretty much the same is true, but it's looking very unlikely to me. I don't think that they're going to be able to do it. Its price is grinding down slowly. So in the same way that you had the short squeeze that was taking place over here. So if you have a look at this, let's grab the highlighter. So if you have a look at this, kind of just grinds up, boom. Then you have a big move, grinds, and then keeps going up like that. I kind of see something similar possibly playing out here. You can see the similarities. It's just in the inverse where you had a strong move to the downside, and now we're grinding. And now I think the longs that were leveraged up are just going to get squeezed to the downside. And then remember, you do have the 2017 high that's coming in over there. So this is the ultimate support. Your ultimate support for Bitcoin is going to be between 18,700 and that 19,200 is the 2017 highs. Once you start falling under that again and holding under there, then it becomes a dangerous environment for Bitcoin. This is also just a cleaner picture on the 1-hour chart, just marking out the range lows. Again, you have to ask yourself, we got now 1 touch, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be the 6th touch. how many times can it hold this before you eventually break down? So guys, I think that brings us to the end. A very, very quick update for you on today's show. If you do enjoy these videos, I'd really appreciate it if you smash the like button. Also subscribe. If you're not subscribed, you're missing out. Use the bell notification so you know anytime that I do go live. I'm going to try and keep this time slot. And thank goodness for the mic today. It worked out nicely. I didn't see any complaints over there. Catch me on Discord as well. Discord is where I'm most active on the weekends because obviously I don't have to do these shows and newsletters and all other responsibilities. Click the link in the description to the Discord. And then I would greatly appreciate it if you used one of my links to join into the private groups. You get access to either myself, Sheldon, or the Bombay Trillionaires charts in the private Discord community over there. You can technically use any one of the banter links and you'll be able to get access into that, but it helps me and you lose absolutely nothing if you do use my link. So guys, until next time, I'll see you all on the following video, which should be on Monday, unless I release a tutorial for PrimeXBT on Saturday. Otherwise, I'll see you all on the next video. Cheers. Have an absolutely stellar day. I appreciate each and every one of you. Trade safely out there.